Alright, I'm back at it again. I am going to show you some of my diary entries. Just spill some tea. Not tea, too much tea. But here's the first story. So I wrote this in my journal on July 17th, 2021. And this story happened years ago. So these are just kind of short stories. This one, I called it, so this is a mosquito spray incident that occurred. So it was 11 p.m. and I was trying to go to sleep because I had school the next day. And I hate mosquitoes. They're just, or any bug that flies around your ear, just zzz, zzz, just buzzing. That noise triggers me. Well, this one mosquito, or multiple of them, was lighting me up. I was so itchy, and it kept buzzing in my ear while I was trying to sleep. I'd tell all the bugs, if you come to my house and I see you, this is gonna be the last time. But if you're outside, then you're safe. But obviously, these skeeters didn't care. So I got out of bed and went into the garage and got a bottle of bug spray. I took the bottle back in my room and I decided to spray my entire room and all my clothes and my whole body and my bed too with mosquito spray. I was young, guys. Remember this. I was like, 6 or 7? I went back to trying to go to sleep, and I did for a bit until my mom came in my room. And she asked me what that smell was. And I told her what I did, and then she made me take a shower. And I had to wash my bed sheets, and then we aired out my room. And I was trying to go to sleep because of a mosquito. I ended up going to sleep after 1 a.m. because I had to do all that clean up and everything. Learn from me, if you have mosquitoes tearing you up, just put in some earbuds and go to Okay. So this next one is an ironing board incident. So I was maybe 12. So I used to iron all my clothes for the week, for like the next week, the entire week, every Sunday. But one day I was ironing and I unplugged the iron, and I thought once you unplug it, the iron magically cools within seconds. So I decided to play around the still hot iron, and I threw up an empty water bottle trying to be like Stephen Curry. I was pretending to throw out the bottle like a basketball, and I threw it, and it went wild and flew behind the ironing board. In the process of the bottle flying back, I tried to catch it like this. I threw my arms over my head, and my right upper arm, the part barely above the elbow, grazed the tip of the top of the iron, and I burned my arm. I immediately ran to my parents, who were in the study, and my mom put stuff in my arm and a bandage. And now, nearly 10 years later, I still have the burn on my arm. So I don't know if I can show you. You can see it kind of right here. That's where I burned myself. It's slowly going away, but I mean, it's probably permanent. It was a lot worse. I had to go to school the next day and I was bandaged up. But yeah, there's the burn. Luckily, I don't have too many burns from being a child and just playing around and finding out stuff. So, yeah, just little things like that. We all have those times and when we're younger. And one day I was young too. I have to keep prefacing that I was young so y'all don't think she's stupid. But there was a dryer, and I was like, I wonder if this hot metal thing that blows out hot air to dry the clothes and the towels, I wonder if this thing is cool, if it cools down within seconds. What's up with me thinking things cool down within seconds? So I put my hand on the hot metal part and I burned my hand. Luckily, I don't have any burns on my hand anymore, but yeah. That was a very short story. But yeah, that's it for this journal here. I love these journals. I don't know what brand they are, but they're very cute. And they feel kind of nice too. So I have this one. This blue one. I don't know what's in here. I like to add stuff in my journals too. These are just about my vacations now, I think. Oh, here's some embarrassing stories. I've been embarrassed many times. So I wrote this on December 16th, 2021 at 1:33 a.m. I usually write after 1 a.m. And this happened maybe 2012. So I was at a baseball game with my whole family, and everyone actually was there this time. So usually it was just my brother and my dad and me going to the baseball games. And I mentioned in another video that my aunt and my grandpa, they both have worked at the stadium and continue to work there to this day in the past, so we got to go to the games for free. And that was fun, getting in for free. Going to a baseball game for free is kind of fun too. But they've been working there over 10 years. But this time my entire family actually went. And we were sitting in the middle arena area on the right side of the outfield. This was my first and last time sitting there because after that we got to go in the newly opened all-you-can-eat section, which is where my aunt works. So this specific time, it was really packed at the stadium. I don't know if it was opening week or what, but a lot of people were there. And so my parents, my family, we were going to get in our seats, sit down in a row. I was last in the row. Well, this lady in that row, she happened to put her hand down on the seat, like, pushing the seat down. So, little 7 or little old me, I was like, oh, she's trying to, put the seat down so I can sit down there. And she was not. she was not doing it. I don't know why she put the seat down, but I tried, she had her hand on the seat and I kind of sat down too. I was nearly sitting on her hand until I got pulled away because my dad, he was like, no. My daddy kind of pulled me away so I didn't sit on this lady's hand, and my dad said, no, we're not sitting there, that's not our seat. I just thought she was being nice and putting the seat down for me to sit in. After that, I finally got to my real seat, but I was so embarrassed. I sat in my seat and I didn't move an inch, not once the entire game. I was just frozen from embarrassment. I didn't even look up at the game. I was just like, the whole time. It's been years, but I'm always going back to that story because I'm like, why did that lady put her hand on the seat and push the seat down? Because no one even was sitting in the seat afterwards. And it obviously wasn't for me, but I was, young, and I was like, I didn't know. I was just thinking, oh, she's being nice. But I was like, why'd she put her hand in the seat? If no one was there and she didn't put her purse there or nothing. But yeah, I was just kind of embarrassed. And there was another time I was at the baseball game again, and we were walking up the stairs, and I actually tripped on the stairs and fell down while we were going up. And there were seats right next to the stairs, and this older man, he saw me fall down and nearly face plant on the ground, and he's like, "You okay, sweetie?" And I was like, "Yeah." I just got up and walked away. I was so embarrassed. It was a quick embarrassing moment, and I did recover. I wasn't frozen. If all this happened in the same day, little Arya would have just self-destructed. Ooh. So it's perfect for nearly, because Halloween is tomorrow. It's October 30th. So this is perfect for today. So this was around 2016, 2017. I was in my first year of middle school, called the Killer Clown Saga, when I titled it here. So if you were above the age of 7 in 2016, you might remember in 2016 there was a huge Killer Clown Saga going on. Clowns were being spotted everywhere, videos, rumors, news channels, all talking about killer clowns. Do any of you guys remember this? Or is this just something that happened in my area? It was worldwide in the USA. But after the remake of It, when that remake came out, people were crazy with the clown stuff, scaring people and causing panic throughout, the US. In 2016, I was at my middle school during this time, and one day I got to school. Not many people were there until after I got there. And we all went to the patio outdoor area where we had to wait before school opened. And while we were walking, this kid, like cussing and yelling and just being frantic. And then he started screaming and running around. We were all like, "What's going on?" And then he pointed at this brick wall on the school where someone painted in red, "You're next," with a huge red X. Not even joking, it was on the wall, spray painted red, and it said, "You're next." And everyone started yelling and being hysterical. Of course, the teachers were confused and ran to see what was going on. They saw it and they immediately told us to get away from the wall. And nowadays, like in America, you can't really be doing that "you're next" stuff. Like, we so traumatized and scared. But this was around the clown time, so all of us, we kind of equated that to clowns. And so we were kind of scared because they had said they spotted a clown in this park that was by the school a few days ago. So we saw the X on the wall and we were like, "Oh no." So the entire school, we were kind of scared. The teachers had told us to get away from the wall and just move, but the kids were still talking about killer clowns attacking the rest of the day. Nothing did happen, but it did scare us all. And shortly after this, the killer clown saga did end. And that was a very scary time, a very scary day for us at that high school or middle school, especially because the clowns were just kind of cured. I was like, "Ooh, what if a clown did pop up?" Yeah, you can't talk about this one. This one's triggering. Ooh. So this is kind of the second video of my diary entries. I kind of skimmed over about 97% of all of these combined because I just was like, I can't really put all my business out on the streets. But now, since we're only 16 minutes in, I guess I'll talk about some stories, other stories. Let me think first. This is a very cool story that I have. I'm just going to talk about other stories instead of my diary entries. But this one's going to go in my diary. But on this one, so this is a story about one of my best friends in school. We were kind of opposites, so it's kind of weird how we were best friends, but something brought us together. Or someone brought us together. So there was this girl in my class, and this girl, she was kind of like a goody two-shoes, one of those really, not saying I'm an opposite to that. I'm a goody two-shoes myself, but she was like really like that. She was really nice. Not saying I'm not nice, but she was kind of just really sweet. And she just, teacher's favorite, really, because like she would never get in trouble or nothing like that. Me, I like to talk a lot in class. She was very quiet. That's what I mean. We're kind of opposites. Weirdly enough, me and her, we were friends. And this was in 3rd grade, by the way. She was kind of quiet, soft-spoken girl. I was not at the time. Now I am super quiet and super soft-spoken. But it just really depends on the setting. But we sat in the back of the classroom, and we were kind of towards the back, closest to my teacher, who had her own desk. And it was me and her on the last seat of that row, and she was kind of on my right. And one day, just randomly before class started, I don't know if it was me or her, but someone started singing "You Lead" by Jamie Grace. Now, I'm a Jamie Grace fan, and I was a huge Jamie Grace fan back in the day. And if you don't know Jamie Grace, she's an artist. You can just look her up. She's really popular in the 2010s and early 2000s, or kind of later 2000s. I'm looking at my phone because I wrote it down on my phone. But one day before class started, I think either me or her, we started singing "You Lead" by Jamie Grace. I think it may have been her, but someone started singing, and all of a sudden we both started duetting "You Lead" by Jamie Grace. And she was super excited that I knew the song. But my favorite part of the song, which I think we both were duetting, is, and I need to stop, cause I'm going too fast, and oh my God, it's still God, and He got my back. But we sang that part over and over and over again, and then I had asked her if she knew any other Jamie Grace songs, and we were going to start singing, and we were in the back of the class, and my teacher was in the front. by the door letting other students in, and we were just singing it. And then my teacher, she came back and she was like, y'all need to be quiet. Class is about to start. So we had to quiet down and we weren't able to sing again. But Jamie Grace united us and we became friends. And I just always go back to that and remember that because, we were singing and I was like, Jamie Grace? I know Jamie Grace. What's your favorite song? You Lead? I love that song. We were kind of like that. And then we started duetting each other, or duetting the songs. And I remember every day after that day, I would go into class and sing a new Jamie Grace song. And she would also sing. We just sing in the back of the classroom. And our teacher, she'd be like, quiet down. And she was trying to stop us from singing Jamie Grace. Jamie Grace, no. Unfortunately, she did move shortly after, so my singing partner was no more, and someone else who knew Jamie Grace wasn't there anymore. So I love Jamie Grace and her music. That was just a short story about that. I thought that was cool. Sometimes you just gotta sing your favorite songs and people will flock. And you might be able to find a best friend. The Dallas Mavericks started the season, I think, 3-1. So that's good. I said this team is going to be good. Fortunately, Luka has been playing really bad lately. Like I said, it's October 30th, 2024. Maybe by the time this is out, Luka will play back to his standard, or maybe even better. But the team is still winning. If Luka was playing like this, this is NBA basketball for those who don't know. But if Luka was playing like this a few years ago, the team would be 0-4. So I'm just glad the Mavericks are a lot better now than what they used to be, because it was some struggle years. I was going to be like, let me get personal. But no, there's some lessons I've learned when it comes to just life in general. Life in general. Why did I do that? Life in general. So I'll just say this. I don't know if it's just me or what, but I don't know, I just feel like people don't really care too much to be my friend. We're talking about friends again. I've kind of been so, like, not obsessive about friendships, but I just was like, I want friendships, I do have some friendships, really nice ones that I'm glad I have, but I just was like, more, more, more. But you don't always necessarily need more friendships. But there's been, a few years ago, I was trying to make myself get more friends and try to put myself out there and talk to people. It's really bright over here, but I've been trying to talk to people and just try to get out my comfort zone instead of keeping to myself like I usually do. Instead of keeping to myself like I usually do and not talking to people, I was like, okay, let me go talk to people. And I did meet some nice people at school, but those friendships just never panned out. But now I'm kind of like, I don't think they would have ever panned out, because I don't think they were seeking a friendship with me like I was with them. And that's okay. Not everyone wants to be your friend, and not everyone has to be your friend. At the time, I was just like, what's going on? Why does no one seem to want a friendship with me? And you could say I'm the problem. I don't think I'm the problem, but maybe. I don't know what I would be possibly doing. I mean, do I give off a weird vibe to you right now, currently? I mean, what are we, 30 minutes in? You get a good feel for who I am if you're new here. And, but it was just kind of like, what's going on? Because there was friendship, like, I met maybe close to 10 people. None of them even. I've struggled with friends my whole life, in all honesty. when I was younger, I never had friends. I look back now and I'm like, yeah, I never had friends. I just had acquaintances. Like, a lot of people knew me at school, but I could never call them my friend. Like, I, believed them to be my friend, but they weren't my friends. And acquaintances, and then when I did have friends, finally, we all kind of just. I keep talking about this, but it did hurt me. But at the time, because we were all really close friends, and we just kind of fell apart, and now none of us even talk to each other anymore. Which everyone, sometimes people in your life are there for seasons, I'm well aware. But it was just kind of sad at the time, because that was my first real friend group, and so whenever that kind of dispersed and we were no longer friends, I was just kind of sad about that. And I was talking about it a lot. Because what happened was our friend group, some people moved out of it and some moved to a different state. And then, after COVID, the pandemic, that's whenever the friend group dynamics switched. So I was really close with one person in this friend group, and then I wasn't as close with them, and then I was close with another person, and now I'm not close with them, and then the person who I was least close with in the friend group is now, I consider my best friend. So it just, to this day, we're really close friends now, thankfully. At least I have that friendship, among a few others, but this friend group, I'm really talking about that. Whenever that dispersed, I was just kind of like, it hurt me a bit. Wow. I didn't want to be personal in here. YouTube does that to you. Or just talking, because I can talk to myself all day. I can be in my room and talk to myself for hours. But yeah, the friendships, if anyone else is struggling with friendships, sometimes people aren't meant to be your friends, and sometimes they are. But I would just like, friend group, no longer had the friend group, and now I don't even talk to those people anymore. It's like we weren't even friends. So, which, it's whatever. But what I do have an issue with is I try to rekindle friendships that have long gone. And I like to do, like, recently I had um ran into someone who I used to be friends with in middle school, and then do I sound like I have no problem? I don't want to sound like I'm the problem, because I don't want to be saying too much, but I'm here now, and this is probably one of the times where I'm like, I hope y'all aren't listening, aren't watching anymore, but so I ran into someone from middle school, and then I had, we talked, it sounded like it was a good, nice conversation, and they sounded like they were very interested in, seeing me again, I guess. Because we were friends back in the day, but we weren't really that close with friends, so whatever. But, I was like, ooh, well, let me, message them on Instagram. Because I was like, I thought we were vibing, we were doing, you know, I thought there was something there with the friendship. I thought it was like gonna rekindle or whatever. And so I messaged him on Instagram, and we talked just very, very minusculely. And then what happened was they just lost, like, they just didn't want to continue the conversation after only a singular message was sent. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting your drift. Let me delete this message, because you obviously don't really, I don't know. But I run into that issue a lot where I try to rekindle old friendships and they never work. But I'm going to stop doing that. But it did work once recently, but just seasonal. The seasonal friends who are there for only a season, they are only there for a season, and you try to, bring them into this new season of yours. They were only supposed to be there for a little bit, so they're not going to be there for you in this new season, if that makes any sense. But that's me. I'm always like, ooh, let me, try to rekindle this friendship so I can, maybe yada yada yada. And it does not work. I'm usually the one to reach out to people, and it just sometimes doesn't work. And I don't know. I run into issues of, it's kind of like, it seems like people don't really want to talk to me, or I don't know. But the friends that do want to talk to me are talking to me, but it's just people in general. They seem like I'm bothering them when I send them messages, or maybe it's because I seem like I don't have much confidence, or which, I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. I'm just gonna chalk it up to whatever and leave it alone. I don't know if I'm even making any sense. Am I making sense? I don't think so. But yeah, friendships are tough, you know. But I was someone who was like, I want friends, as much friends as possible. Now I'm just glad for the few I have, because not all the times are big friend groups even really the best. But yeah, here we go with being personal. I was trying to find some funny stories to tell. I don't have too many funny stories that I can think of right now. It looks like it's very sunny, but that is a lie. It is dark. It is stormy. It's raining. It was a dark and stormy night. Um, so that was personal. Okay, so I was telling you personal stuff, because I was like, I'm not gonna come on here on YouTube and tell all my business. You guys don't even know my age. Maybe you can figure that out. Hopefully not. Don't be out here being weird. But y'all don't know my age. The only thing y'all know about me is that my name, Aria, is spelled Aria, and it's pronounced Aria. I've had such an issue with people and my name since I was young. I don't know what all that is about. People often will call me Aria, Area. I get Area a lot. Area? And I say Aria. Sometimes at this point, I just go with it. Yep, my name's Area. Yep, that's me. Yep. Area. Sometimes I even get Ariana. And I'm like, where's the Anna at? I don't see that. Ariana. And it's just Ariana, Arianka. I don't know where that's coming from. My name only has 4 letters in it. So, but, I'm not someone that's like, excuse me, you said my name wrong. I'm just like, yep, that's my name. Yep. And it's kind of bad to where people don't even call me my real name anymore. They just call me this fake name or this made up name. Like, I don't know. But my grandpa, he's called me R. Since I was very young, I just kind of go with it now. It's been too long. My grandma always corrects him, and he was just like, R. Hi, R. I said, hi, Grandpa. R. I don't know. I don't think he can say R yet. I don't know why he doesn't say R yet, because it's super simple to me. My entire family says Aria, but my grandpa, he's like, R. R. Like a pirate. R. Is my name difficult? What do you guys think my name was when you clicked on this video? You think it was Aria? 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 Well, yeah, that's it for this video. I'm trying to find out some nice ideas for videos. Yesterday I did a video where I was talking on camera like this. I'm kind of running out of stories, so I don't know how many more of these I got left in me. I also did a video where I showed the beats that I've been making, my type beats that I've made. I think I've done pretty good with that. My beats, and I have another video idea. So I got one more left, but after this, I don't really know what else I'm going to be doing. I have another idea for Christmas, and I'm going to put on a nice little Santa hat too. Just a sneak preview. I'm going to make one of my favorite Christmas treats that I make every Christmas. So that'll be fun. My favorite holiday is actually Christmas. I love Christmas, and gifts are lovely. It's just a nice time, minus sometimes where it's just raining and dark, but Christmas is nice, and especially because family, you get together. But I keep mentioning I moved, but my family, we did move, so we no longer are with our family anymore. We used to have a big family get together at our old house, but we don't do that much anymore because we moved far away from our family. Not on purpose, but it just happened. I used to love Christmas. A bunch of gifts. My grandma and my grandparents, they would give us a bunch of gifts. Like, I'm talking 2 sacks full, like big trash bags. And my brother and I, we would be at the house and we'd be opening up my parents' gifts that they got us, as well as my grandma's and grandpa's and aunt's gift that they got. And the gifts would just be so much, and people would be done opening their gifts within 10-15, and about an hour later, we're still opening the gifts with another sack left to go. It was a lot, but I'm thankful to y'all. Thank you. At one point, it just got to the point where we were like, let's just save these for after everyone leaves. So it was really like Santa Claus. And one time for Christmas, my brother and I, we were younger. I think I was maybe 10 or 11, maybe 8. I know that's a huge gap, but my parents, they actually set up the Christmas gifts so nicely. It was really nice. So we had a fireplace. It was a wooden fireplace, or a brick fireplace that we had in our old house. And our parents actually set it up so nice. And I know now, any Santa watchers, close your ears, just mute the video, mute it. People who believe in Santa, mute it. I know now that my dad was the one eating the cookies and drinking the milk, but we would always say, okay, y'all can come back. Come on back. But we would always set out cookies for Santa Claus and have the milk there. Now, when I was younger, I was like, Santa Claus. But now I'm like, oh, mute. But now I'm like, oh, it was just my dad. And, yeah, but this one time, we set out cookies, milk. Santa came through and gave us a real nice thing. But my parents, really, they had set up these electric scooters and they had faced them outward, but they faced them towards each other outside of the fireplace, like on the ground outside, a few feet away from the fireplace, facing each other. There was gifts on the fireplace. The stockings were full. There was a bunch of stuff everywhere, and I said, "This is really nice." I went downstairs, peeked downstairs because I was so happy. I was like, "What is Santa gifts?" And I peeked down the steps, and I saw everything laid out nicely. And I ran to my parents' room. No, I think I ran to my brother's room. I said, Jamie. I ran to my brother's room and I was like, look what mom and dad did. Or look what Santa got us. Look what Santa got us. And, we both ran downstairs and then we ran into our parents' room and said, Santa. Also, I'm just debunking a lot of stuff. If there's kids watching, just tell them to clock out, tell them to delete the video, just run. But, the Tooth Fairy. I found out the Tooth Fairy was fake at a very young age. My parents don't know this. They don't know this story, but my hair is going crazy right now. It's kind of really big because of the humidity. Yeah, so it's kind of messy if you look at it for too long. really puffy. But the Tooth Fairy found out the Tooth Fairy was not real, and it was just my dad. Like the movie, it wasn't the Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the Tooth Fairy. And so I was asleep. I lost my tooth. You know, you can get money in the Tooth Fairy thing. You get money when you lose your tooth. And so I had lost my tooth. I remember I was asleep. And this one particular time, I was I was trying to go to sleep, but I was still kind of awake. And my dad walks in the room and I was kind of like still awake. He lifts the pillow up, puts the money under the bed. And, I saw him walk in the room, so I was like, pretending to go to sleep because it was very late. And I had school the next morning. So I just kind of pretended to go to sleep. And I just felt him, put the money under the bed. My head was lifted up. And then he put the pillow down and he walked out the room. And I opened my eyes like, and, and then I lifted up the pillow and I saw some cash. I said, it's all a lie. But I got my money. Yeah. That was how I found out the Tooth Fairy was really my dad. And probably sometimes my mom too. But I mean, I got my money, 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 my money, money, money. Yes. That's some nice fun memories that I could share with you. This video is getting quite long. I'll probably just cut out that entire segment where I talked about friends. I just want to talk about this. So, I was in kindergarten. Kindergarten's fun time because really you just sleep and you make fun stuff and you learn about colors and alphabets. That's that's all you really do in kindergarten. But I was in kindergarten and I remember it was around Christmas time and we got some milk cartons and we actually frosted them and decorated them to make Christmas decorated houses. It was we did that in class that day. I remember doing that. That was fun. Yeah, so if you want a little fun thing, you can get a milk carton and they're kind of small, but you can get the big ones, make a tall house. Or you can just make a regular gingerbread house. But that was what we did in kindergarten. But we did that, and we also made reindeer food, which was just oats with cinnamon and little glitter. Yeah, I remember I came home after school after we made that, and I told my parents, I said, we got reindeer food for the reindeers, for Santa's reindeers. And so I set it outside, and then, after Christmas, the same day or on Christmas, I went outside to look for the reindeer food, and it was eaten. All it was left was maybe 1 or 2 oats in the bowl. Yeah, but now I'm like, that's kind of weird combo. Don't they eat like carrots or something? But I'm just sure my parents probably just kind of threw some of that away in the trash. Just everything is just a lie. Why do we lie to our children? I don't have children, but why are we lying? I know it's fun and it's a fun thing to do, but why are we lying? Why are we lying? I guess I'll end it here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you must, if you want to. Let me know below what's your favorite Christmas memory if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, what's one of the best gifts that you received? Not for Christmas, just in life in general. If you haven't received a gift, I'm out of what to say. What's your fondest memory? Actually, just forget about all this. Just do what you want to do. Okay, bye.